G'day everyone. Sit here in the shed, haven't been in for a while. I'm just having a bit of a play on a wet Saturday afternoon. Jason might be in a while. I have sent him the link. I don't know whether he's coming in. So I'll spend a bit of time on the hand saw, and I've just got a little box of blanks that I'm going to start to process. So this is a bit of cypress that I did last night, just on the outside of it. So that one's pretty much done on the outside. So what I'm doing, I'm just working on a bit of a process of doing the outside, working on just a 1-inch hole in the middle, hold them in there, do the outsides, and if I'm not doing a 1-inch hole in there, I'll be putting them onto the screw up. So I just got to have a look and see what I've got processed which way in my box. So there we go, this one's a bit of olive. Spindle roughing gouge to do the outside. Sorry, not a spindle roughing gouge, a spindle gouge. You don't use a spindle roughing gouge on cross grain. There's a bit of crop. Bit dusty. Hopefully that won't be too noisy. Like olive. If you're here, you'll be able to smell it. It smells amazing. I've got calipers preset to my chuck. Drop that a bit again. So I'm watching Richard Raffin spin the gouge. And just coming off the right hand side of the tip. Lift the rest up a little bit. Hey, how we going? What? Drone freeze? Hopefully you can hear me. I think the microphone was working when I tested it, but that doesn't mean it's still working now. Hit a 120. Still got a bit of bark inclusion in there, but I'm not sure that I'm going to worry too much about that. It'll come up looking like alright, I reckon. This mic's not too bad for picking up noises that were not picking up noises. Have I got enough to hang on to there? That's probably the critical question. Going to be a fairly shallow bowl because up near the rim there's a few cracks, so they'll be getting turned out. A few little cracks there. Hey, Steve. Thanks, Mike. That sounds okay. I'm just going to go a little bit bigger with my foot here because it's not quite a complete foot. I have been in the practice of turning with almost micro foot with the new Vic Mark chucks. And the machining on the edge is no chamfer. They've got quite a good point on the end there. A little bit of difference with them. So this one will go. So this is a Vic Mark shark jaw. There's quite a good little grip there, and that's bigger than I normally go. So that's probably 2.5 mil. I reckon I might have gone too small with that. I might have to recut it. Right, there we go. So that's what I'll hold that on the cutter, and then I can just leave that foot on there as a footed bolt. Not too worried about that little breakout at the end there. So I'm going to come back into that. Probably 5 mil is going to have to be turned away. Let's have another go. This is 120. No, I'm still using up. I bought, thinking I was saving lots of money. I bought quite a bit of hunting sandpaper, which is in a big box store, and I'm still using that. I'm finding that if you buy the quality sandpaper, you go a lot further on a piece of sandpaper than what you do with the cheap stuff. That's a bit of olive. Yeah, the O'Donnell jaws, the Axminster one, so it's the peach with the trees and a couple of the other Terry, they love them. It's very hard for us. We can get the Axminster stuff here, but it's pretty hard to get, and the postage is a killer. So the Vic Mark jaws are made in Australia, so it's a local product. And what we found, or what I found, is doing the cost analysis. The Vic Mark jaws and the Nova jaws, because the Vic Mark chucks, you can buy what's called a companion chuck. So that's a little 100 mil 4-inch chuck, 100 mil. I can buy the chuck on its own and then buy the jaws separately. And this is direct threaded for my lathe, so I don't need an insert. I can buy that chuck and those jaws cheaper than I can buy the equivalent chuck and jaws with Nova, because with Nova I can't just buy the chuck and I have to buy an insert as well. So it's actually more cost effective for me to get the Vic Mark. And I'm running 2 Vic Mark chucks. They'll go down to 35 mil. I think that one is, from memory, 78, I reckon. So, no, 60 be, yeah, about 58. 78 on the outside, it must be. And they're really good. And pretty much that's all I'm using now is those 2 chucks for doing probably 80% of the bowls I'm turning. No, James there. I'll let you down, mate.
Oh. How you going?
How's the other hand? Hang on.
Yeah, going all right, you know. No, you can take me off the screen. I don't need to be there.
I just need to see the other hand.
Sorry?
So Jay, I believe, got his hand caught between the rest and a piece of wood that was not wanting to stay on his chuck. From Jay's description.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's looking about the same as the first time.
You probably can't see it. No, you can't see it. Look. There.
Okay. It almost looks like it should be a stitch in there.
It's decent. It's decent depth to it.
Running flat out.
Sorry?
Yeah, you probably should have had a stitch in it, I reckon. You probably should have had a stitch in it.
Yeah, I probably should have.
There's a bit of
But I
olive,
didn't.
Joe.
Oh, yeah?
I had a bit of. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing some outside. That's a bit of cypress. I had that actually on the lathe when I started.
Yep.
And I've got
Nice.
I've got a box full. Did a bit of bandsawing last night. So I'm just sort of almost doing a bit of production running, I suppose. Got to make some stock. I've booked myself in for. I've done one market. I've got 5 more I've booked myself in for, and maybe 6 because I got an email about another one in November, which I'm not sure about yet. It's over at Penola where I come from. So that's where I've done 2 markets.
Oh yeah.
And then there'll be
cool.
another one next year.
Yeah, I got a market coming up at I think it's the 19th of October or something like that. Hello to everyone in the chat. I can't look at the chat because my tablet freaks out.
Guys, I'm relying on you to keep an eye on the chat for he's no good at all.
I can look at it, but it freaks the tablet out. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
I think you're saying you're soft. No, it's in the chat.
Oh, is it? Who said that?
Mike.
Oh, that's all right. If Mike said it, that's all right.
It's only a choice of 2, Mike and Steve.
All right.
So this is 400.
It's come up in the studio part of it. It's come up saying 1 more. Have you got someone else that wants to come in?
I can't see anyone there.
All right, maybe it's the chat. It is absolutely.
That's in the arse. I don't know whether we want that sort of language in my life. Bloody hell! You can't say arse.
Armhole.
Kids watching. You can't say arse. Bloody dude. Oh.
All right, there'll be enough out of you, potty mouth.
Beeswax. Upset Neil with this stuff. So Richard Raffin uses beeswax and boiled linseed oil, so that's what I've been using for a lot of my stuff. So it isn't, wild linseed oil isn't actually feed safe.
All right.
But it's what Richard Raffin uses to coat all of his bowls that he uses for practical use. So I'm going to go with, like Robbo says, doesn't, once everything's set, polyurethane, once it's set, is pure food safe. It might not be food grade, but once it's set and you don't cut into it.
Yep. What's that red on your hand there, Sid? Have you injured yourself?
Just there. Oh, there.
On your wrist and stuff.
There.
Yeah.
A couple of mozzie bites.
Oh yeah.
Mozzie's going nuts here at the moment, mate. I don't get bitten often, but when I do get bitten, I don't react real well to it.
You wouldn't think there'd be that many there with the sea, eh?
So it's a nice little crotch. So I've got a couple of little cracks there that I'll turn out when I turn it round. So this will be just a nice little low bowl, dish, whatever you want to call it. Nice little bark inclusion in the back there.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So when are you free to go to? When does the busy season end in the shop? That'd be more my question I should ask.
Probably about the time I went over this year, like sort of May, June, June, July, August is a quiet time for us.
What's being said in the chat? There's numbers popping up. I'm a good hot chat chauffeur, aren't I? Bloody hell. I can't hear you when you're over there. Nobody can hear you when you're over there, Sid. It's just that. You need to get a monitor closer to that lathe.
How's that?
That's better.
Hear me now?
Yes.
You should be able to hear me now.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Hello. Oh, that's probably a good thing, though. I'd like to switch off sometimes, but I can't.
Can you hear me now again?
Yeah? Can you hear me?
I can now, right. We've got it sorted out. I don't know what goes on these aftershocks. Every now and then it drops out and either the microphone or the speakers won't work.
Yep.
I just had to play around then, just switching backwards and forwards between it a couple of times, and it worked. So I think this.
So what?
So right, I was reading the chat for you, wasn't I?
Yeah. And there's more there now.
Mike said the CA and coffee grounds thing. Steve, context, he stabbed himself with a bit of wood in the right buttock a couple of weeks ago. I'm not quite sure how you manage that. Steve, Mike said, did you rush the missus and ask her to suck the splinter out? There we go. Okay, so Steve can setting to hear me again. Cool. Hello, the boss would have gone to work now too because it's 5:05. I'm home alone again.
That's not a club I like being in at the moment. Oh, shit.
So that little foot will be probably about maybe 2 mil by the time I get it in there. Maybe 1.5 mil. And that's what I'll turn on. I'll have to show you later, Jay. I did signed some bowls with the laser pecker last night.
Yeah.
Comes up really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking in to get one of those.
I bought a cheaper one to start with. I wouldn't bother. The definition you get out of the little bit, well, it's double the money, but the definition you get from having the good one is so far ahead. We're going to get some more sandpaper.
Would have been the perfect thing to play with while I have my busted finger.
Yeah, would have been actually. So I've been seconded by the Minister for War and Finance. So she's actually, so the little scroll saw I've got that's the same as the one you bought, Jay.
Yeah.
Shirley's going berserk with it. She's having a ball playing with the scroll saw. So she's cutting out. So we've been dismantling an old piano, which if you have a look at my page, I'm not sure whether I put it up yet. There's a trio of little bowls. Bowls coming up too, and the little lidded box with the black key for the finial. And there's a heap more. There'll be a heap more bowls coming out of that when we finish pulling it to bits.
Hey, can you dart over back to Messenger and tell Michael that he can still come into the live because he thinks he's missed it.
Oh, hang on.
I'd say he'd want to come into this part of it though on StreamYard.
Yeah. I've got my phone here too, so I'll jump on that.
No, don't jump on it. You need to be able to use it.
Okay.
So, are you going for anyone in the Brisbane and Adelaide game tonight?
Nah. I don't like either of them.
Me either.
If I had to pick, I'd be going for Brisbane.
It's their home ground; they have to win, yeah.
Who Adelaide? Where's it being played?
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dell's here.
They've never lost on their home ground. I'm not a footy fan, but that's just what I've been told, you know.
Yeah, Steve, it was just it's a little gonk blank. Little head, be a gonk hat eventually. Sorry, the bit I dropped behind the lathe. Machine Nut Dell's in. Morning, dudes. Chris, was that Chris Bailey you're talking about? I don't know what time he's doing his. Yeah, just keeping an eye out to see if Mike comes in. Michael. This is 120.
How you going, Del?
Still running this at 1300. So this is just a bit of cheap pet tubing, which I found works really well because it'll sit there and hold. I can push it back in out the way. I can pull it right out here, and it'll hold and sit right there. And you buy the same thing that's actually the ducted stuff for the systems. It's about 5 times the price. I reckon that was $6, and I reckon to buy the same thing was about 50. Pick that up on Pete Twisted Trees in out of UK. He made one up. Went on to Amazon and found it. Bought 2 metre lengths for $6, I think it was.
Do you want to? Can you send me that link or put it in the group chat or something like that?
For the tube.
Yeah.
Yep. So what I've got too, I'll turn this off for a sec so I don't catch me sleeve on it. I'll just turn the thing around. So I've got just there, just the smallest Carbotech dust extractor hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And that it is running through a cyclone, but you don't have to have it running through the cyclone.
I need it to be very space efficient, so I would have to have something a lot smaller than that. What
Well,
you've got up the back
that's
there.
as small as you're going to get that there, but you can hang it. You can hang that, like if you bought that with a one length of tube, and the normal tube, like this stuff here, is not too bad. It's this stuff that'll stay. So if you bought that unit or similar, because it is cheaper in different brands if you have a look,
Yeah.
you can hang that up on the wall. You can hang it like behind you on the other side and run it down and run the tube down behind the lathe under the thing. Get it
What
right
I was
back out the way.
thinking is that
Or even
cabinet
outside.
the cabinet that's in the middle of my lathe. I was thinking of bolting it underneath that.
Yeah, under the cabinet, it may not quite fit, but it can sit on the floor. It has a little set of wheels on it, so you could actually have it so you had it sitting outside the door if you wanted to, and just put it back in the shed when you're not using it.
I don't think I'd have the bag on it. I'd probably just have it shooting straight out to the door into the garden.
Yeah, well, if you had it outside the door, you could do that, and it'd work a lot better doing that too, because you haven't got any back pressure. It'd be straight through flow.
Yeah.
When I set mine up properly, I'm going to get a big one, like a 2 or 3 horsepower, and I'm going to put it outside and run a vent through the wall of the shed, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. It won't have a filter on it. It'll just vent to air outside the shed.
Put it in your wood drying shed or something?
No, just on the end of the shed, out where there's a power point outside the shed on the end. And I'll put it there. I just got to work out how I'm going to do the switching. I'll have to take the NVR switch off and have a switch inside the shed for it. So I'll show you this in a minute. Jay's seen the little foot I use for turning, but this is probably 1.5 mil. The one on this one.
Yeah. You know what? It'll bloody fall out every time for me. I don't know what I've been doing lately, but it's obviously not right.
Well, part of what you're doing, I reckon, with that one that flew off and hit you is you might have had the lathe running a bit quick.
Yeah, it's really weak wood, that Himalayan cedar. It's really.
Yeah, I've got some of it. I haven't turned it yet, so I'm taking that on board. This is a bit of 400.
It's probably like and it was cross grain as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, cross grain. Well, I suppose it's more likely to break off. That Japanese cedar. Have you turned that bit of Japanese cedar I sent up?
No, not yet.
So that you need your tools really sharp with that too, because that's light and quite.
Oh yeah, I turned that little bit that I got, but I haven't turned the bowl blank yet.
Okay.
So yeah, it's nice to turn.
Yeah, it is. It does come up quite nicely. So what I found with the laser pecker is I can put my finish on in the middle of the foot here, and then I can still burn inside there, and it still comes up all right.
Yep. Are you going to do that on here?
Yep. I haven't got the laser peckers in at the nook.
Okay. Not good enough. No, go get it.
Sorry. So I wouldn't be trying this with anything other than Vic Mark Chalk, but that gives you an idea. I'm going to turn the inside of the bowl on that.
Yeah.
And I'll do it quite happily.
Get out of town. That's all I got to say.
That's actually I've got a steel rule over here. I'm gonna measure that.
Something's
somewhere.
going on in the chat too.
Hey,
There's something going on in the chat. The numbers are going up.
right.
You need to get a monitor that's up near that lathe, eh?
I've got one above the lathe. It's just a little bit too far away. I can't quite hear it.
You can't hear it. That's interesting.
Chris Carlton's in there.
How you going, Chris?
So there we go. What do we want? Do we want imperial or metric?
We
So
just
that
use
is
B.
one. That's
No, lift it up.
1/16 of an inch. That foot.
Lift it up a little bit.
See it there now.
When you no, your camera froze for a bit, so go down now. There you go, right there. Yeah.
1/16 of an inch.
Yeah.
A bee's dick.
Yeah.
Or just shy of 2 mil. But having said that, I wouldn't try that with anything other than these Vic Mark Chuck.
Yeah. What was that?
I wouldn't be game.
Tell us why, Fit.
Hey,
Tell us why.
I'll tell you why. On the Vic Mark Chuck, the inside here, there's no chamfer. That little groove there is, it's not sharp, but it's quite well defined, and that will grip that very nicely.
Right.
The Nova Chucks have a more chamfered edge, and they need a bigger grip. So I'd be looking to go probably 3 to 5 mil as a minimum with a Nova Chuck.
So you just need.
About...
Do those jaws fit on a Nova Chuck?
No.
I don't be like that.
So this is a bit of wood. You might be able to tell from the veneer. We're dismantling a piano, so this is a bit of piano wood. I think. I don't know whether you can pick up the Meduley rays in there. I think it's oak. It looks like oak to me anyway.
You can see that. It's definitely not pine, that's for sure. It's funny, you're dismantling a piano, and then I go for a walk the other day, and then someone's smashed a piano up and it's all in pieces. Along the walking trail, there's just bits here and there as I'm going along.
Grab them. It's good wood to turn.
No, it's hammered. They've smashed the crap out of it. Looks like they've had fun doing it too.
So talking to a few people at Turn SA who are in the know with the woods, the frame will be, the main part of the frame at the front is most likely oak.
Yeah.
The big members at the back could be spruce, beech, birch. There's a few different things they could be.
There's always free pianos to give away in Gumtree and stuff like that.
Hi, say again?
There's always free Gumtrees. There's always free pianos on Gumtree.
Yeah. But they're not already broken up. You've got to have a trailer to pick them up. That's blunt.
Yeah, that's not hard though. Get a cage trailer and you can lay them down and stack them up.
That one's not real sharp either. I'll be right back.
I just want to go and tell Michael too that if he's signing up with StreamYard, he needs to go check his junk mail because they always send it to the junk mail.
He shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to sign up to come in, should he?
I think he might have to. Yeah, anyway.
He's seen it, but he hasn't said he's coming in.
All right. If he's subbed to on YouTube, he should see the YouTube link.
I'm just telling him it's on YouTube as well. If he comes on there, we can talk to him anyway.
Yeah. I just said that, so you mustn't have heard me, and then you basically just repeated it. It's like,
We'll go with great minds think alike there, mate.
Oi, oi, oi. Swing. Sorry, folks in the chat. I'm not being rude. My tablet's being rude. I can't see the chat because my tablet freaks out.
Yeah, see, I've spent big money to get an earworm in, and I've got to do the job myself to tell the earworm who's saying what in the chat. I cut his wages this time, I reckon. Either that or you just say you only get what you pay for, Joe. Is that about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, especially in this neck of the woods.
I must have been using the other gouge last night and not sharpened it up. So that actually, so you can see that turns up quite nicely.
Yep.
That's better.
Yeah.
Sharp gouge, you don't have to push it. It just goes. It goes. So this one will be an interesting look because it's got a piece of wood laminated on the top, which is how it come off the piano. The little trio of bowls I did the other day.
Is it raining down there, is it?
Yeah. Weather's absolutely rubbish here.
These have still got blue skies here.
Just coming off the right-hand side of the point of the gouge. I'm getting a really nice finish off the tool doing that. I'm going to try something a little bit different here in a minute to see what the width is here. Spot on. So I may finish up having to remount and redo this foot, but I'm just trying something a bit different. I won't know till I turn it round to try and do it, whether it's worked or not. But that'll be a foot I'll try and leave on there as a little footed bowl.
What did you do?
So I've made it like a bigger foot, And if I've made it too wide, it's going to leave marks. So I've just got to, when I turn it round to do the inside, I may finish up having to remount it back on this way round and just redo that before I carry on.
Okay.
Actually, I reckon
Yep.
I've got a screw hole there. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's just a, I don't know whether you can see the line there. Yep, should be
Yeah.
able to.
Yep.
So that's, and I've left a tiny little bit of the veneer on up here. It's probably just enough to be a little feature. A little bit there. But it's oak with two different orientations with the wood, and it actually looks quite nice.
Yeah, it'll look interesting when the inside's turned out.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to be brave and go to the chat, so if my mic glitches out, then that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, Michael was in the chat now. How you going, Michael? Is he?
I haven't seen him yet.
Freak out. Oh, I just
Hello,
mean on
here he is.
YouTube.
Hang on, I'll just bring him in.
Oh.
Bring someone in anyway. Hey, Michael, how are you going? There he is. I can see right up your
Hello.
nose. I'll take you off screen now. How you
How's
going,
it
young
hanging
fella?
there? Sorry.
So you're being cheeky.
How you going,
No,
then?
they are. They're saying
Oh.
they could see my nose.
No one can see you now. Just you can see yourself, Michael. That's all.
Yeah, I've got the screen up with just me on it. Or just my lathe on it. So if anyone's curious, not that it matters, I'm going 120, 180, 240, 400. Technically speaking, I probably should go 320 before the 400, but I don't have any 320, so I'm not doing it.
So, Michael, if Sid's screen looks a bit glitchy, it's just his internet and he's out in the country, you know where he is. So it's not you.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, we have a technical issue. Please do not adjust your screen.
See, Michael, this is what I like about StreamYard, is you can just come in here and have a chin wag, have a laugh, and you don't have to type it.
Yeah, fair enough. Not used to it.
She'll be right, mate. It's easy.
She be right.
Yeah.
Because I just showered myself in boiled linseed oil then.
Oh, you're going to be shiny.
Got it all over my glasses.
Quick, rub it in.
Might as well.
Watch out, your hair will stick together. Oil on my lathe.
Not sure if he's got any there, Michael.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, Jay.
Was that the Minister for War and Finance in the background? Are you scroll sawing as well? That's what I'm trying with that one, just a little. So the Vic Mark chuck should hopefully grab just in that little groove there.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then I'll just put it back on and redo the foot. But that
Vic
if it doesn't, you'll be a Jay.
That's the piano wood. Oh dear. Hit me, someone. I can still hear him. What do we got here? Alright, this is the last piece I've got that's set up this way. The others I'll use the screw chuck on. This is a little bit of cypress.
What are you mumbling there, Michael?
I'm talking to the dog.
Woof.
She wants to see Sid turning.
It's funny that, you know,
Have a look.
it's funny that, you know, because one of my cats is sitting around next to me watching too.
Not interested. Hey, an improved 10 on me.
Hey, Michael, do you want to go and read the chat?
Yeah, mate. What was that?
Thank you. Go and read the chat, will you? My tablet freaks out when I go and look at it.
Yeah, it's not, Mike, that's not uncommon. Cows eating all sorts of things. They'll eat bones. But it was a really good picture though.
Yeah.
I can't say I've seen a cow eating a snake, but I have seen them eating the skin and that off of dead animals that are sitting around.
I thought it was photoshopped, but it's real, is it?
Hey?
I thought it was photoshopped. It's real, is it?
No, that would have been a genuine picture.
Crikey.
Might have just had a little chunk fly out of that then.
Michael, you have to read the chat out loud. Don't just go and read it and keep it to yourself.
Not with you, silly buggers.
I can barely hear you, Michael, with the other noises I've got going on in the background here. I can hear that.
I'm just filling up my whiskey cup.
I could hear it.
I thought Joe was in
I was getting a little bit jealous.
Didn't sound very good, did it?
I'll have to do another live when I do the insides. $120 again. One thing I've found with cypress is I'm not going to say I'm allergic to it, but certainly does make the mouth a bit dry if I sand it or anything without extraction or without. Normally, if I'm sanding cypress, I put my mask on as well. Makes the mouth a bit dry. That
So,
might be a
Michael,
little bit optimistic for Cyprus.
Michael, are you willing to come into more StreamYard lives?
Sorry?
Are you
That's what
willing
it
to
sounded
come
like,
into
Mike.
more? Are you willing to come into more StreamYard lives?
Yeah, I'll watch the old bugger turn. Better than looking at his head.
Yeah, I don't mean just that. I mean other lives as well.
Jay does quite a few as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I think I might be being a bit optimistic there.
Yeah, I'll have a look go at him if I'm on the computer. As long as I haven't got my head down and bum up doing a project.
Well, I can't bend my finger yet, but when I can grab the tool, I'll be doing a bloody live. That's all I know.
Which tool you're talking about, Jay?
I don't know, too much information there, mate. Sorry. I don't know whether I want to watch you grabbing your tool.
Well, you got to be ambidextrous, don't you?
So, because this is Cyprus and it's quite dry, I think I was being a bit optimistic with my real micro foot there before. Cyprus doesn't hang on all that well. And if you forget what you're doing and you're not extra gentle turning out the inside, you get a J and you get your blank flying across the shed. I'd call that a J from now on. I did a J.
It wasn't on a live, so it didn't happen.
No proof, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, you got it. Well, no, I can't say that. Everyone's seen the proof.
Yeah, and you told everyone it's in writing.
Yeah. What's going on in the chat, Michael?
Well, Mike said you should stop pissing in your whiskey cup because it's unhygienic. And that is what it sounded like you were doing. I must admit.
It's the same colour.
What sort of whiskey are you drinking?
You know, you can get these cups from Woolies, and they're about 500 ml, and you can have hot in them or cold. So that's what I was filling up. So I was just filling it up with plain old water, unfortunately. But
There's a room for that.
Well, I was thinking when I heard it how long it was going for that if it was whiskey, it was a pretty good effort.
Now my whiskey cup is a skull, a little skull, shot glass.
Yeah,
A bit bigger
I've
than a
seen
shot
that.
glass.
Quite nice.
Yeah. So
If I come and
got
see you and
from,
it goes missing, if I come and see you and it goes missing, it wasn't me.
I can tell you where to buy them from. It's actually a coffee cup. It's from a company called Killer Coffee. They're in Australia.
That's the coffee you drink.
Yeah, it's about I think it was about $35 or something.
Nice little knot there. Branch going. I reckon that's probably going straight through. So I might get away with it. Might have to put a bit of CA on it on the inside. So I made that foot a little bit bigger because it's cypress.
Yep. So I've got an idea for a bowl that I've been wanting to try for a while now, and that piece that you just took off the lathe would be absolutely perfect for it.
Well, Sid's done half
The
the work.
piece of the wood.
I'm not going to give out too many details until I've tried it myself, but
That's not going to bite. I don't think. Nope. More ways of killing a cat than drowning it in sour cream.
oh, it'll be like that. So what wood did you say this one was? Or?
This one's desert ash.
One of the pieces that I got off you at Turn SA, and it was still a bit wet, and it had the bark on it. What was that? It's kind of it's actually dried, and it's gone a bit of a orangey colour. The actual wood itself, not the bark, but
Is that one piece you grabbed out of the box or something you got from home here?
no, it was something that I got out of the box when we were turning there. It was only a small piece.
Yep. So just hang on a sec.
It's like you got the bark layer, and then there's like the layer in between the bark and
Something
the wood.
like that.
And then, yeah, it might have been.
I'm not 100% sure. It's a bit of wood that Shirley picked up down at one of the depots down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what it is. It feels really nice.
It actually dried orange. I'll go and get it and I'll show you. It's kind of weird.
I'm gonna do that as a live edge.
Oh yeah.
Little live edge bowl.
I did this one as a bit of a winged live edge kind of thing.
Yep. So when I get one like this that won't bite on the screw, I jam it up between centers like this till I've got a little foot on it. Like that. Because every now and then you get a bit that just doesn't want to screw on or the strip's out. It turned up that might have held, but I don't think it would have. No, it wouldn't because I could turn it. So this is a Vic Mark 3-in-1 faceplate screw. So the 3-in-1 part is so this comes off. So you got 3 different size backings. So if you do watch Richard Raffin at all, he will let you know that it's not the length of the screw that's going in, it's the size of the pressure back there. It is actually the friction pressure against the back plate that holds it. So you've got that size, you can turn it around, and you've got that size, or you can turn it around like that, and you've got that size. And then you can do what I did and make it a bit bigger, because you don't need all that length anyway, so that just brings it out, and you get a bigger one, or you can put a bigger one than that on as well. Works quite well most of the time. Red gum it doesn't like, and that was Desert Ash. I thought Desert Ash would be alright, but obviously it wasn't. Big Mark with the shark jaws. Oh, Michael's gone.
Just
Hang on.
can you see the layer in that?
Oh, Jesus. Now, what do I do to make you the number one, Jay?
In the top
There we go,
right
I got
hand
it, I
corner.
think. There we go.
There. Can you see the layer in that, the orange?
Yeah. I reckon that might have been, yep,
Oh,
could have been there. Oh, no. That's Desert Ash.
okay. I thought I've turned it before, but maybe I haven't. Never seen it go that colour orange before.
Well, I think it's, sorry, I'll qualify that. I think it's Desert Ash. So, that'll be the other half of it.
Yep. Looks the same. Yep.
So I think that's what it is. So the other Desert Ash I've given you would have been old dry stuff. This is relatively fresh and green.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was turning it.
Yeah. It's not very old.
And then it gradually going that orange colour. It was kind of like, what the?
Yeah, that's good. Because that's another one I'm going to do as a live edge as well. So I'll see if it does the same thing for me as it's done for you.
Yep. All right,
I might have to knock it on the in a minute. I've been
now.
going for an hour. Better go and do some jobs. Got to check my phone, make sure the boss hasn't called me to see where I am because she needs me at the shop.
Sun's going down a bit later, so you got a little bit of little leeway there.
So she's left me a message. She dropped by the green waste because of the big winds. She respected my wishes and didn't pick up anything. However, there's been a big wind and all the different types of wood there. I feel like I'd be remiss in not telling you. I don't need any more wood at the moment.
And darn it, it's too far for me to drive to get it.
Here he is. He's back again. He dropped out.
Yeah,
there we go.
Computer savvy.
Better stop talking about him.
Well, it was nice. It was nice for a minute. Most of it was nice, which was a bit that I found interesting. He's gone again. They say that. That's a
No?
safety feature on this wood fast. If you get a little catch, it'll stop and
Okay.
then start again. So I got too big a bite. It jarred. See that?
Yeah.
So that's not the belt slipping. It actually stops. It's done it a couple of times. Because the surface is not real clean, it was just detecting it as a big catch, so it wasn't letting me. Where is it? Need the right tool for the right job, apparently. So that's my technique for between centres pretty much, is I put it between centres for long enough to turn a foot on the back, like that. Then I turn it round and I'll turn a little mortise on the front. And then I'll turn it round again and I hold it by the mortise if I've made it big enough, which I bloody haven't. Right. Put it back on and do it again. It's only just not big enough, but it's not big enough. Putting holes in my turning jacket on the tail center. Try again. Now we got it. A little bit of spalting in this too. I don't know whether I'll keep it or not. Might turn it out. I won't be unhappy if I keep it, but it might not stay there. I'll do a sweep up soon, getting a few shavings underneath here. Make this a little arty piece, put a little foot on it. What do you reckon, Jay? Will it stand on that? Won't now.
Well, I'm gonna have to say no.
Oh, you have little faith.
Says the one who chopped it off.
Well, I didn't chop it off deliberately.
I'm just letting you know the time. It's 6 o'clock, Sid.
Yeah, mate, I'll pull the pin in a sec. I've got to go out and lock the animals up and stuff, and I'll sand this one up, and then I'll...
That's why I was letting you know, because it's getting a bit dark here now, so...
Yeah. It's raining here too. This is one of my best pickups. That was down at Mountain River Timber.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like the price of any. I didn't like the price of any of their tools they had left over.
No, it was a Henry Taylor. I'd been looking for one, so it was price was right compared to a new one.
Yep.
And he had it right there, so I didn't have to wait in postage or anything. So.
Yep.
I reckon this stuff was on eBay. I'll send you the link when I go back in, this tube stuff. It wasn't on eBay, it was on Amazon, one or the other.
All right, and send me the link for that laser too, please.
Yep.
Well, if you've still got it, that is.
Yeah, no, it'll still be there somewhere. Laser Pecker 2 is what it is.
Sounds dirty.
And it does. The beauty of it compared to the other ones is it comes with all the shielding and stuff. You can use it handheld. You can use it on the stand. You can use it with what they call trolley mode, which means you can feed a bit of wood through it if you get the full kit, or you can use it in, there's trolley mode and there's roller mode. So roller mode, you can actually stick it on top of a board and it'll walk along it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually do some quite big pieces with it, whereas the other ones are restricted to that 100 mil by 100 mil square.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
What's today? Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, all day too.
Just trying to decide whether I like that or not.
What's the day got to do with it?
No, not the foot.
That'll be all right. Just make it nice and thin when you cut the bowl out. Are you doing any talking at the moment, Sid? Because we can't hear anything.
I'm cogitating.
Okay.
So my two trains of thought at the moment is I either make the foot bigger or I change the bowl to a more OG. So instead of having the out, it in, which I think would suit the smaller foot better.
Yeah, it probably
for
would.
that shaped bowl, I don't think that works.
Yeah, and
That's
if it gets too much in it, yeah, go on then. Change it then.
I will.
Yeah.
Funny wood. What do you reckon? Looking better already, isn't
To
it?
go sharpen your tool. Yeah. Yes, it is.
That's better.
Yeah. Yep. Much better. Tell you what, the spate of house fires in Adelaide lately, it's kind of weird. There's been none, and then all of a sudden the last week there's probably been one every night.
Steve lives about 15 miles from Henley Taylor, you bastard. 12 from Sorby and 7 from Record Power. Record Power, no, Sorby make good tools. The Record Power, I've got a set of Record Power bowl gouges, and I'm using them until they're worn out, but they're a V-flute. And I really don't like them.
I reckon that's what Robbo gave me, one of those, eh?
No, I don't think he had any. He might have had one V-flute. His is probably a parabolic, which is a much friendlier shape. So that's a parabolic. It's a little rounder in the bottom. But the V is horrible. And then you've got, no, that's a parabolic too. I've got a round one here somewhere. But the round one looks more like almost like a the little one. This little one's, so that's a round one.
Yeah.
But the V is horrible.
The Record Power one that I got from Robbo is it's going to take me a little bit to get used to, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they're bitches to sharpen. The one with the real sharp bottom in the flute.
Yeah.
You got to spend a lot more time on the edges than you do on the on the tip. So just a very light pass over the tip, but do it after you've done the edges.
Yeah, yeah.
So I haven't done an OG for a while. It feels odd sanding it. Definitely a much better idea for that small foot, though.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I agree.
So what I found those at the market on Saturday last week, the things that sold were the little 4-inch red gum bowls or native wood bowls, so red gum she oak. They sold quite well. I sold the big Japanese cedar salad bowl, the 10-inch one.
Yeah.
That was I think that was the second thing to sell. The first thing to sell was the big lidded box
Oh, yeah.
that I'd made out of kapua. I found out, I reckon it is. Same wood as the square bowl that I put up the other night on the repurposing page. So I've got to make some more lidded boxes because I had 5 there and I sold 3 of them.
It's always a good thing.
So that's a bit of the Japanese cedar. I'll see if I can do a little cross-grain lidded box out of that. Might be too porous, but wasn't any good for much else. So I'll start thinking about doing a few more beads and decorations on some of the bowls too.
You need to start doing some Christmas trees, eh?
Oh, I did a heap last year. I've still got some left, but I've got to do some, well, the Christmas tree decoration size ones I have. I've got to do some bigger ones. And I'm going to do some rustic pallet ones as well. But now that I've got the nook, I can stick them on the lawn out the front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mum loved that beanie, eh?
That's good.
She said it's perfect. It's just her colour, every single one of them.
Look at that. Righto. A little bit of super glue in here, let it dry and come back later. I was doing a pen blank the other night. I nearly super glued my fingers together.
Oh, yeah.
It was a very close thing.
That would make serving customers at the shop a bit difficult now, wouldn't it?
Make it interesting, yeah. I do keep a bottle of acetone here in the shed, so as long as I've only glued the fingers on one hand, I'm probably all right. Alrighty, I'm going to let that sit for a while, come back and have another go at sanding it. I've got my 2 little pots as coffee grounds there, and that's just bandsaw cuttings. So they're my repair pots for. Alrighty, I'm going to knock this on the head. Thank you all for coming in and having a look, and I will catch you next time. I've got to go and lock some animals up and stuff. Try and save me. I had 8 goslings a week ago. I've got 2 left. The crows have been having a field day with them. So
You can't help that, though.
Couldn't quite work out what was going on until I went to put them away last night, and there's a crow hassling the crap out of them. So I went out this morning, and out of the 4 I had left last night, they were all out. Well, 2 of them were out, and the other 2, I'd say all 4 got out, and the crow's got 2 of them. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Steve, for coming in, and I'll catch you all later. See ya.
Bye-bye.